This video is going to cover pages 43 and 44 in the workbook on constructions. Here's an example of the 4 most common constructions that we have, and we're going to have some practice with it in this video also. You should have problems like the SOL, problems like this on the SOL. So the first problem says, write the letter of the point that the perpendicular bisector. So we're looking for the perpendicular bisector of segment AB passes through. So remember, to make a perpendicular bisector, you put your compass on point A and you go past halfway. So let's go past halfway. Let's just make sure that we're there. So once you hit that, you go over to point B. You keep the compass setting exactly the same. So let me scroll up a little bit. And you're going to make marks where they intersect. So right there is one, and right there. And then I would take a straight edge or a straight line. Let me move my compass out of the way. And I would connect this point to that point. And it doesn't go exactly through D, but I would say that would be the correct answer. There's really no way for you to do this besides. So unfortunately, those lines don't erase. I'm going to need a clear space to be able to do number 2. So number 2 asks us to write the letter of the point that the bisector of angle ABC passes through. So to make an angle bisector, I have to keep the compass setting the same and make a couple marks. So the first thing I'm going to do is go through both lines that make up the angle. And I'm going to come up here and make another mark, go down to the other point where the line intersected the other ray, make a mark there. Finally, I take my straight edge and I go from the angle B through the intersection, and I should see that it doesn't really hit anything. But I think what it's closest to is probably F, so let's put F down as the answer. The key is that you know how to make these constructions. So for number 2, we'll put down F. Number 3 says name the line segment that is congruent to AB. So in order to find a segment that's congruent, I just extend the compass out to go to A to B. So right there I have segment AB. So let's see which one's the same. If I go over DE doesn't work, this one here works. So CE is the correct answer. That's letter D. On the next page, we need to construct an angle congruent to angle ABC. So again, I'll get the compass out. The construction for making an angle congruent is that I take an arc through both lines, and I do the same exact thing on this point over here. I use the same exact compass setting. Now, whenever I copy an angle, this is the only construction we've learned where you actually move the compass. So we're going to move the compass just a little bit until it goes through the other point. I like to make another mark there just to make sure that we did it right. So you might think we'll have a problem here. We won't. We go to where the line crosses it. So where our arc and our line crossed. And I make a little mark there. And the last thing I do is I just connect the dots. Anytime we have the arcs that intercept, we're going to make a line that goes through it. So right there we have copied the angle. The angle is congruent. So we have a couple more to do. Number 5 says construct a segment perpendicular to AB at point P. Write the letter of the second point that the segment passes through. So to do this, we first need to make equidistant points. And then we're just going to make a perpendicular bisector. So what I like to do is make the full circle first. And then you go down here and you're going to make the perpendicular bisector. So you go a little bit past halfway. We make one arc. We go over to the other point that we made. And we make the second arc. We take the straight edge. We go through both points, and we see that the answer is Z. We did a problem like number 6 already. We have to identify the following construction, and we see that the first 2 marks are right here. The second 2 marks are right there. That's an angle bisector, which is C. And the last one on this page is number 7, where we need to construct a perpendicular line to segment AB from point P. So we're going to need a little bit more room here. So we start off on point P. And we make sure we make an arc that's going to touch the line segment twice. So once we have that, we're going to move it up. So I'm going to move my page up. I keep the same exact setting on the compass. I don't move it. Remember, the only time I move the compass in or out is whenever I copy an angle. So the last thing I do, I have marks that intersect. I make a line from point P that goes through that mark, and that is a perpendicular line. I hope this was helpful, and again, make sure to watch those videos that are posted on Blackboard. I think they're even better than this presentation here.